Welcome to datascience.show, the podcast where data science meets executive leadership. We talk with top AI and analytics thought leaders about turning data into real business impact. If you're a C-level leader or data expert shaping the future, you're in the right place.
Welcome to datascience.show, where data science meets leadership. I'm Mirko. Today's episode is focused and practical. How executives design a funded, auditable remediation capability when AI systems harm customers. Picture this: an automated credit decision wrongly declines a segment of small business owners. A swarm of complaints, a regulator inquiry, media scrutiny, and a remediation budget that suddenly balloons into the millions. Who signs the check? How fast can you fix it? And how do you avoid repeating the same failure? I'll walk you through an executive playbook you can present to your board and put into pilot within 90 days.
Why is this urgent? AI decisions are no longer back-office curiosities. They touch customers, revenues, and reputations in real time. Boards want more than apologies. They want a repeatable lane that limits balance sheet exposure, restores trust, and leaves an auditable trail. My thesis: Redress must be funded, auditable, and proportionate, not ad hoc PR. If you accept that frame, the rest becomes a set of practical decisions.
First, a taxonomy of remediation modes, because you can't pick a fix unless you can name it. There are 5 practical categories: compensate, corrective action, reversal, rehabilitation, and policy change. Compensation is direct dollars or credits when harm is monetary or easily dollarized. Corrective action fixes the output, for example, rescoring applicants or correcting a misclassification. Reversal is undoing a decision already applied, refunding a fee, canceling a wrongful termination. Rehabilitation is longer-term support, retraining models, enhanced monitoring, or customer support programs for affected cohorts. Policy change is the institutional fix, gating rules, new approval flows, or stopping deployment until controls are in place. Each mode maps to different speed, cost, and proof of effect requirements.
How do you dollarize harm and triage incidents so the CFO will sign off? Start with a simple 3-tier approach. Tier 1, low impact, high frequency issues, small customer inconvenience, or incorrect UI text. Triage for automated fixes and communications, cap exposure per incident, and batch claims weekly. Tier 2, medium impact, incorrect decisions causing financial loss or meaningful customer friction. Estimate per customer loss using a conservative formula: observed error signal times average transaction value times a behavioral multiplier. Multiply by affected population and apply a probability of harm discount to avoid worst-case overreach. Tier 3, high impact, systemic bias, privacy breach, or safety harms. These require immediate funding, legal and compliance escalation, and executive sign-off to unlock an indemnified remediation fund. Always set an executive remediation runway, a named amount and signer, before you start the pilot. That prevents the classic trap: teams discover a problem but lack the authority or funds to act.
Now, communications. What you say, to whom, and when. Plain answers, brief, timely, and choreographed with legal. For customers, acknowledge, explain what you're doing, and provide next steps or compensation options. For regulators, preserve privilege where appropriate, but be transparent about timelines and the verification steps. For public messaging, avoid technical blame, focus on the impact and the fix. A short template. We identified an error affecting X customers. We're pausing the feature, investigating, and funding remediation. Here are your options: direct refund, corrective reevaluation, or dedicated support. Always have a pre-approved comms plus legal script for each remediation tier and rehearse it in a tabletop. Poor timing or wording can turn a fix into a crisis. That's not a communications theory, it's hard dollars and trust loss.
Operationally, build a runbook that looks like a simple assembly line: detection, triage, decision gates, action, verification. Detection needs instrumented signals, customer complaints, automated fairness or performance monitors, and third-party reports. Triage tags incidents by remediation tier and required evidence pack. What logs, what training data snapshot, what decision trace. Decision gates are where the remediation ladder is chosen. Who can approve refunds? Who can approve reversals? Who requires executive sign-off? Action is the remediation itself. Automated reversals, customer outreach, policy updates. Verification is proof of remedy, attestations, audits, and sampling that feed back into KPIs. Keep a single source of truth, an incident record with versioned evidence packs, so every action is auditable. Don't forget vendor and procurement levers. Many AI pipelines depend on models, APIs, or data from suppliers. Contracts should include cost share clauses for remediation, audit access to model artifacts, remediation SLAs, and, where risk is material, escrowed remediation funds or insurance obligations. Demand the right to require a vendor-side rollback and to receive forensics sufficient for your evidence pack. Insist on indemnities proportionate to the vendor's role. Procurement needs to treat remediation as an operational cost, not an afterthought. If a vendor resists these clauses, that's a procurement red flag. Push for alternatives or higher oversight.
Now, a 30 to 90-day pilot blueprint you can run right away. Week 0, executive sign-off on a named remediation runway and a pilot product. Pick one product with frequent customer interactions but bounded exposure. Weeks 1 to 2, instrument detection signals and build the evidence pack template. Weeks 3 to 4, define remediation tiers, pre-approved comm scripts with legal, and draft vendor clauses. Month 2, run a rehearsal tabletop, simulate a Tier 2 incident, execute the runbook, and evaluate timing and messaging. Month 3, deploy the Redress lane in shadow mode alongside production for one cohort. Measure time to remedy and remediation cost per incident. Then open for live incidents if metrics pass. The pilot should produce a checklist and a board-read one-pager, ready, no-go, runway consumed, and a prioritized list of walleted improvements.
Leadership and board reporting. What belongs in the regular cadence? Reportable KPIs, average time to remedy, remediation cost per incident, recidivism rate, repeat incidents for the same root cause, percent of incidents with completed evidence packs, and vendor remediation SLA compliance. Who signs remediation budgets? Define tiers. Below X cost, product leader. Between X and Y, C-suite. Above Y, board. Embed redress into your enterprise risk management with a fixed cadence. Quarterly summary plus immediate escalation for Tier 3 incidents. That way, remediation becomes part of your governance fabric, not a set of emergency meetings. A few closing takeaways. 3 actionable items to prioritize this week. 1. Name and fund a remediation runway with an executive signer. 2. Pick one product and launch a 30-90-day redress lane pilot with detection, tiering, pre-approved comms, and a rehearsal tabletop. 3. Update procurement templates to include remediation SLAs, audit access, and cost share clauses. And one more caveat. This is an executive playbook, not legal advice. Have counsel review scripts, contracts, and jurisdictional nuances during the pilot. Rehearse, fund, and measure. If you want the Redress lane templates, tier formulas, evidence pack checklist, and board-ready one-pager, subscribe to datascience.show. Run the pilot. Convert reactive fixes into governed capabilities that protect customers and your balance sheet. That's the difference between models and value.
Thanks for listening to datascience.show. If you found value in this episode, subscribe, share it with your network, and join us next time as we explore how data science drives smarter decisions and better business outcomes.